Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 90210 show. My name is Marcus. With me, as always, is my fiance, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a great week. It's July 3rd.
That's right.
1998.
It's almost time for the partying.
Yeah, it's almost time for the 4th of July.
Yay.
What do you think?
I hope that none of our neighbors got illegal fireworks.
Are we celebrating with Independence Day?
What? Dave?
Well, yeah, where we watch a marathon of David Letterman's
What in the fuck are you talking about?
late show program.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we're not.
All right. Now, you know what we're going to watch?
Yes.
Every year they do something.
What?
So,
Who's they, first of all, that's doing something?
I like to watch The Twilight Zone on Independence Day.
Why is that, Mark?
I don't know. It's like
Yes.
some of the cable channels, they do episodes. They do like a marathon of The Twilight Zone for Independence Day.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Like, I don't see what's, like,
You asked that
patriotic.
like I'm delusional. And you're like, why do you think that?
No. Not why do you think that? Why do you think it is? Why do you think they do that?
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Do you know what I think the honest answer is? Because not a lot of people are watching television on the 4th of July, and it's something that they own the rights for already, and it's like cheap and easy just to put on. That's what I think.
Okay. That makes sense.
But I do love The Twilight Zone. Do.
It is fun.
The movie was good too, despite the horrific death that happened on the set.
Okay.
You don't remember that?
No.
Vic Morrow and two Vietnamese children, like 9 and 8 or something like that, or 7. Yeah, their heads were chopped off by a helicopter blade.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's awful.
They were filming a scene where it was supposed to be like Vietnam or whatever. The Vic Morrow played this like racist dude that essentially it was Quantum Leap before Quantum Leap, I guess, because he was leaping into these different people that he like. I'm trying to remember exactly. I think like he was just like this racist dude at a bar and was talking about all the races he hated and everything. And I think he was like a black person being lynched or something like that in the South in the 60s. And then he was something else. And, and he was experiencing all this stuff. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so racist. I shouldn't be like this. And the last one was he was a Vietnamese person running from the U.S. Marines or whatever. And he was carrying 2 young children, like trying to get them out of the line of fire. And they filmed it on a set, obviously, in this like shallow pool thing, and he's really carrying these kids. It's like 2 a.m. They violated all sorts of child labor laws.
Oh my God.
John Landis should be in fucking jail, I think, for allowing all this to happen. They had a real helicopter with a real working blade hooked up to this like crane or whatever. And there were explosions going around, right? I think one of the explosions like knocked something loose or whatever. The whole helicopter on the rig ended up falling into the pool where they were, and the blades. Yep.
Awful. So, speaking of, child death and awfulness and
90210!
Exactly. Let's talk about what we're here to talk about.
It's graduation day. The death of your own childhood, so to speak.
Oh, goodness. So much happened. This was, a double episode.
Yes,
so
it was.
We got a lot to talk about.
It was a full 2 hours of 90210 goodness.
I felt every minute.
Minus the commercials because we watched it on our tape.
Right. But, we've got, let's see. You know how Claire was asked to go to Paris?
Yeah, by
Her father.
yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, she's graduating like from college, this is the time she should be like separating more from her father. Not
She's clinging more to him.
yeah, it's kind of weird. But
To Arnold. She wants to be his new wife, I think.
ew.
Well, I mean that's what it seems like, right? Like she's trying to replace her mom in every way other than sexual, I guess.
Yeah.
But like that's really what she's trying to do. He's so sad. He needs me. He needs whatever, you know.
But like Steve already ascertained from speaking to him, like, no, she's the one that's sad and needs him.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the whole episode, she's being weird and like
You called this so early. So early on.
yeah, she's like, oh, you know, I just want to, you know, be alone with my girls and, you know, I don't know. Like, she's blowing Steve off a lot.
No, not really. He wishes.
No, you know what I mean.
I guess that is one way to tell if somebody's leaving.
She, no, but she wants to have, like, a night with just the girls in the apartment. And then they're saying stuff like, oh, you know, it's no big deal. Like, you know, we'll have other nights like this because she's saying, oh, this might be our last night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's weird, right?
And she's like, I mean, you know, you're moving in with Brandon, she says to Kelly, who's like, doesn't have boxes packed. I mean, like, it's like not like they're moving out right now. Mm-hmm. But she's like, and who knows what will happen with me? Like, how does nobody question that?
Yeah, seriously.
The way people act in television shows is so unrealistic.
It's the end of the beach house.
But, and then there's a lot of questioning as to whether or not Kelly is going to move in with Brandon, because that's like the whole like main focus of this episode.
Yeah, that's definitely the main focus of the episode for sure.
Because we've got fucking Valerie being a bitch. So
you're like a fucking bipolar person. Like,
okay,
we'll watch an episode and you're like, Kelly sucks. She's being mean to Valerie. Then we'll watch another episode and she was like, and you're like, Valerie's such a bitch, and Kelly's right. And then we watched this episode, and while we were watching the episode, you were like, oh, Kelly sucks and Valerie's right. And now you're like, Valerie's a bitch. What the fuck? We're talking about the same episode.
Okay. I feel a little sorry for Valerie, and Kelly's a bitch too.
Yeah.
But, like, Valerie's very manipulative,
they're both
and
wrong.
it's upsetting. Like, yeah, they both upset me this episode. So, Brandon's supposed to kick her out so that Kelly can move in. Because Kelly...
Let's set the stage, by the way.
All right, go ahead.
I mean, you guys already know this, but let's recap everything we know, right? Valerie's graduating. She sold her stake in the business of the Peach Pit after dark. So she has no job and no income.
Right.
The $100,000 she got for selling her place in the business is gone.
And she keeps calling it her entire life savings. She's 22 years old.
Right. Stolen by a fraudster. So she has nothing.
Yeah.
And no place to go.
Yeah.
And her only real friend here in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills is like,
Brandon.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. So, yeah, okay, all of that sucks. I get that. I feel bad for her for that. I think the timing is awful. I think they should have waited longer. I don't think they should be like, oh, you're penniless, get out.
And Brandon was like, hey, you know, she doesn't have any money. She's like, she lost all her money. She's got no place to go or whatever. And Kelly's like, I don't care.
Yeah, Kelly's being a bitch too. But Valerie just, like, acts like she's going to kill herself. Like, she writes...
Wow.
What?
Way to fucking, like, no lube, just right into it.
Okay. I mean, it's true. Like,
yes,
what?
but so many things happened before that. It's like a little build-up here.
Sorry?
So, first of all, she says something to Kelly, where she's like, I'm so grateful for Brandon letting me stay here. And she said that, and she says, well, she didn't say I can't stay here.
Right.
And then she's like, well, you're fucking out. And she's like, I think that's Jim and Cindy's decision, isn't it? Don't they still own the house? Aren't they still under contract? They're not.
She's like, right. She's like, they invited me to live here. which is true.
An old family friend. She also takes her shirt off in front of Steve.
Yeah, she's being very desperate.
And she's like, you like me living here, don't you, Steve?
And he's just like staring at her like, yeah, of course.
She's like, maybe you could say something to Brandon. So, anyway, so Brandon finally comes to her because Kelly's basically like, you're not getting any unless you kick her out.
Right.
And she's like, he goes, yeah, you got to get out. And she's like, didn't Steve talk to you? And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And she's like, well, what about Jim and Cindy? And he goes, I already called Jim and Cindy.
They said it's my decision. Which is like, I mean, that's got to be awful because they've been friends since they were like kids and stuff. So,
yeah, I don't think I'd let it be my kid's decision.
No. But anyways, he tells her she's got to get out. He didn't give her a specification of time, did he? No. I don't think so. I think he should have given her a month or two or the whole summer even, like since she has no fucking money.
Well, that was his proposal, was to take the summer.
And Kelly
said no.
Like, Kelly, you already have a beach house. You have your Malibu Barbie beach house, okay? Just fucking chill. So, yeah, so then she leaves a note for Brandon that says, I'm going to do what I should have done a year ago when I was with David.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm thinking, what does that mean? What is that? Well, yeah, they almost, like, she stopped him from killing himself.
Yeah. We should never forget that she saved David's life, by the way.
Yeah, sure, everybody has things that redeem them, but she's pretty awful.
Yeah.
So, she goes to a hotel and is planning to go stand at the freeway where she always goes if she needs, quote unquote, a gut check, as we see in the flashback they give us.
That is what she's doing, by the way. She's obviously not going to kill herself.
No.
She's just going there to stand there.
Yeah, and she stands there and waits for Brandon to come save her. It's all a setup.
So Brandon finds the note. They're supposed to be graduating today. Brandon finds the note. And he says to David, because she mentions David in the letter, it works out exactly the way she wants it to. He's like, do you know what this means? He reads the note. She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I was gonna kill myself, or I was gonna jump off the fucking embankment. And he's like, yeah, she's probably there. And so he's like, all right, I'm gonna go get her. Do you want me to go with you? And he's like, Brandon's like, no, I can do it myself. Go to the graduation. By the way, they show that. Am I stupid for thinking like that doesn't seem as fatal as they're making it? It's not like the top of a building or something like that. It's like a
hill.
A hill over the overpass.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you jump down there into traffic, cars are going to hit you and stuff like that and everything. But I don't think you're dying on impact.
Well, I think from where she's standing, it would be hard to fall into the freeway if you jumped. I think she would end up rolling down a hill, not falling into the freeway.
See, I think it'd be a terrible way to die, because if you died that way, because you'd jump, you'd sustain painful injuries when you hit the ground, but I don't think it'd be fatal. And then if you did die from it, it'd be from rolling into traffic, and then cars would just hit you and ragdoll your body. So I think it'd be terrible. But, like, I'm not crazy, though, right? Like, you kind of agree, too. It doesn't seem like that deadly of a height.
It seemed scarier when it was nighttime and you couldn't see everything as clearly.
Yeah, but that's true.
When we can see, it's like, okay, yeah, you're not in any danger up there.
So, anyway, she goes and stands there. Brandon's calling the hotel frantically, and they're like, yeah, she's not answering or whatever. And he comes in, and he's like, did you give her my messages? Are you Brandon? Who else is he going to be? He's like, yeah, I gave you the messages. She checked out. So he goes to the embankment and finds her there.
Yeah.
And basically he's like, come on, we're supposed to be graduating. She's like, what's the point? I don't have anything or whatever. He's like, come on. Instead of doing this, let's go and graduate. And she was like, what about after? Which is obviously what she cares about.
Right.
And he goes, then after we go home.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like...
So she won. She won with her manipulation. Why, like you said when we were watching it, why doesn't she just leave? Like, what is keeping her there?
She has no self-respect.
Right? Like, none. And she has no friends, and she has no money, and she has nothing, and yet she's like, I'm going to be a hanger-on here in Beverly Hills.
She's desperate to be a part of this gang, and I don't know why.
Yeah. She is very psychologically unbalanced. I mean...
Yeah. I feel really bad. Like, if you actually break her character down as a real person, I feel really bad for her.
Well, yeah, I mean, she suffered horrible sexual abuse from her father. She found him having killed himself.
Yeah.
She's... gone through a bunch of messed up relationships. Like, yeah.
And she's desperate to get these people to love her, and no one does.
Because she's awful.
But she's, like, she's trying. She doesn't think that so it's the most tragic personality in the world, because she doesn't think that her being herself is good enough to be liked. So she feels like she has to pretend or be something she's not, or manipulate or whatever, so that they like her. And she constantly tries to do that. But that very thing that she's the premise of her premise is flawed. Like, she's not right.
Right.
If she was just herself, they'd like her so much more. Mm-hmm. And the stuff she's trying to do to get what she wants is actually driving them away.
Agreed.
But anyway, so Kelly points out the very thing that we all know. She's like, oh, she wanted to kill herself. So convenient. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's pretty bitchy the way she says it, but she is right. And Brandon's like, even if she wasn't serious, though, it's still a cry for help.
Right.
And Brandon still likes her.
Yeah, he still cares about her.
Yeah.
He's the only one, I think.
Yeah, and he's the only one that, Steve.
Well,
but he's the only one that that knew her before, I think, all this shit fucked her up.
Yeah,
when they were still in Minnesota and everything.
I mean, who knows how long she was being fucked up by her father.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so... And Brandon almost misses his graduation, and he's giving a speech.
Yeah.
Because
the shortest speech ever.
Yeah, it was awful. But because she times it that way, though. Like, so it's like this mad rush, and he has to go save her right before graduation. Like, I wouldn't have blamed him if he didn't go and save her.
Because really? If she just killed herself?
But she wouldn't have.
But he doesn't know that.
He suspects it.
You think so?
Don't you?
I think he's willing to take it seriously. Well, I think there's part of him that thinks that maybe she would have gone through with it.
I don't think she would have, though.
I don't, but I think part of him believes that she might have.
Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, so he goes and does his speech, which, like you said, sucked. Mm-hmm. And, they get there and they graduate, so whatever. That's all fine. I remember at the end of the episode that Kelly finally agrees to this, but I don't remember why.
Oh, well, that has to do with the other storyline that's going on, the other main storyline between her and her father.
Okay, yeah. So Kelly's dad's in town for her graduation.
Bill Taylor.
And this is what makes me hate Kelly, is that she's such a spoiled brat. Mm-hmm. And, like, her dad, yeah, okay, he's not always there for her. I get it. But, like, your parents are divorced, so that's kind of par for the course.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be supportive. He's trying to be there, and you're like, fuck you, get away.
Mm-hmm. So. Her dad has brought her half-sister with him, and they hang out a little bit. Her mom is hanging out with her ex-husband and saying, like, hey, Kelly, you should talk to him and everything. Everyone's telling her to talk to him. Yeah,
and she's like, no. Mm-hmm. And I want to have a tantrum and stomp my feet and pout.
She's so angry at him for the whole Valerie thing, and it's like it would have made more sense if she caught him fucking Valerie.
Right. Yeah.
Then I would get it, and maybe that's where they were going, and they chickened out. But that would make more sense why she'd be angry at him. That would make more sense why Valerie would be more of a villain in this case. All that stuff makes more sense. But instead, it was Valerie said, "I'm Kelly's friend. Can I talk to you before you have the dinner with her?" And that's what got her into this pissed off of a mood. Why doesn't she think like, oh, he was manipulated by Valerie?
Right. Like
other
everybody
people.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Like Valerie's a puppet master.
But no, it's his fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's mad at Valerie too.
Yes, she's mad at Valerie too, but she should be mad at Valerie only.
Agreed. But she was already mad at her dad. Remember she did all the coke because she was mad at her dad?
Yes, because he sent her the check instead of
coming to see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poor baby. Your daddy gave you a bunch of money.
Yeah, $5,000.
Like, whatever. I mean, I get she's disappointed, but she didn't need to tank her life because she's disappointed either.
No, agreed.
So he's trying so hard to get in her good graces that he throws her a graduation party.
A roaring 20s party.
But it's not even said to her that her father's throwing the party for her. That's what I don't get.
It's a surprise for her.
Yeah. But it's not a surprise. Everybody knows about the party.
No, the party's not a surprise. The fact that it's for her is a surprise.
Like, who do they think's throwing the party?
I don't know.
It's weird.
And he hires the Cardigans.
Yeah.
That play their only song.
How much do you think you'd have to pay?
Love me, say that you love me.
Yeah. But I wonder how much you have to pay to get an international band to come sing at a graduation party.
I don't know. They do say they're like, we don't usually play bands like this, but
yeah,
we have vaguely South African accents, or I don't know, maybe French or Russian or German. I don't know.
I believe they're from like the Netherlands or something, or Sweden. That area.
You think so?
I think that's what they said.
We're from the Netherlands, so we're kind of German.
Anyway, it's really weird. And she wasn't even going to go to the party.
Yeah.
And who
she was
broke
gonna
it to her?
she was gonna fucking blow them off.
Yeah. Because she's in a bad mood.
I think they're Swedish.
Okay. Well, isn't that by the Netherlands?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's near there.
Anyway. Who told her? Somebody told her that the party was for her, so she had to go.
Her sister.
Ah. So at least she shows up. I mean, I guess that's some kind of concession.
Sure.
And the party's, crazy. Now, okay, we find out that he's actually going to prison. And, like...
We find that out at the end. God damn!
I need to say something.
You're just fucking into... No build-up, just ripping Band-Aids off today.
I need to say something, though.
What?
Like, how did he spend all this money on this party when he's going to prison for embezzling money?
I know.
Because I would think...
It's part of the deal he made with the government, he said. So he's like, listen, I'll come in peacefully if you allow me to spend some of my clients' money on this party.
Right?
If you allow me to spend Valerie Malone's $100,000 to throw this party and hire the Cardigans, and then I'll go to jail. What's the alternative? They could just is he just going to disappear into the wind? I'll be a ghost. You'll never catch me. What the fuck?
Oh my god. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And I thought he had a ton of money. So why would he do this?
I don't know. None of it makes sense. It's like fucking it's the same thing as Dylan's dad, basically.
Yeah.
That's the same storyline again. They're recycling it.
Well, except I don't think he's going to get killed. He just goes to prison.
Just like they're recycling the other storyline that I mentioned last week or whatever. Like we already did this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the show's been going for 8 years
now.
Dylan,
because Valerie got her money stolen.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same storyline.
And now we know that the guy that was working with her dad, before, he's like, oh, he used to work for me.
Yeah, and obviously, if Bill wasn't, did Bill fire him because he got jealous that he was embezzling better? What the fuck? How does that make sense with anything? It seems like they must have been working together then, which is probably why he still had access to Bill's number, so he knowingly fucked Valerie out of this money.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's why he looks so surprised, I guess. when she mentioned the guy. Not like, oh, he's a piece of shit. And that's why he didn't warn her.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Whatever.
He
only
needed
waited
to secure
till
that
the check.
$100,000 so that the check would clear for the fucking cardigans.
Right. So, yeah, it's all messed up. But he does this big announcement that this party is for his daughter. And he brings her up on stage, and all she says is, like,
Thanks.
have fun or whatever. Yeah. So,
Cats are coming in.
how do you break in? I didn't even leave the door ajar for you. Like, in another life, I think he was a locksmith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a cat burglar.
Right. So, Kelly finally talks to her dad, and they kind of make amends. But then
Sure.
she's like, let's get lunch tomorrow. And then he's like, well, you see those guys over there?
Can't do that, Kelly.
Yeah, they're about to take me away. So I'll probably never see you again.
You can call them Calgon because they're about to take me away.
Right. I don't know. She seems all sad about it, but it's like, whatever. You didn't want to talk to him anyway.
Yeah. Now he'll be in prison. He doesn't have to be on the show anymore. Whatever.
And somehow that softens her towards Valerie, and I'm still not seeing the connection.
So what she says is she's like, I'll give him a second chance or whatever. Brandon gives her the speech about like give him a second chance. And so she does, and they have a moment or whatever, and she feels fondly towards him again. So then when they're at the house and Kelly's like, hey, they're like, what are we going to do after this or whatever, this party, you know? And she goes, Valerie says, does anyone want to get a nightcap or whatever? And Kelly goes, you know what? Since we're all going to be living together, why don't we go home? And Valerie's like, do you mean it? And she was like, yeah, I think it's time for second chances. Let's start off fresh or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's like, so that has put her in the mood.
So probably
starting over.
So probably next season they're going to be like best friends because they've been living together all summer. Next time we see them, and everything's going to be awesome again.
That would be funny. I don't think that's going to happen because I think they like Valerie as a villain too much. But that would be hilarious if that did happen.
Well, they have such a tendency to just swing people's character from one end to the other. It wouldn't surprise me in any way.
We'll see. Who would be the villain then?
Well, they'll bring in somebody new.
It'll be Donna.
Right. Yeah, now that she's all sullied.
Yep. Break that too. Don't even set that up at all.
So Donna has it in her mind that she wants to lose her virginity to David.
Donna's grandma's in town again for the graduation. Her horny grandma. And she just has one conversation with her like, oh, you'll know when you want to fuck him. And
that is not what she says.
It's kind of just like you'll know when the time's right or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like every conversation she has, it's like when a computer's loading, right? Every conversation she has with her grandma just like gets her closer and closer to that bar being 100%. And this was the last little straw. And she's now at 100% to like, yes, I want to lose my virginity now.
Which is, I mean, like, good for her. She's 22. She's graduating from college. It's time.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's funny because she goes like shopping for lingerie with Claire.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Claire, I get it, I guess, because she's,
Slutty.
yeah. But like Kelly's her best friend. Kelly would know about lingerie too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she buys a bunch of different stuff, and she buys condoms, and she's getting
Big Sur
everything
condoms.
right. Everything's ready.
Yeah.
And then David knocks on the door. She's got to hide it all. Like, I don't know why she had to keep it a surprise, but she wanted to surprise him with sex. Like, it seems like a thing you talk about first for the first time.
It's always a nice surprise, though.
Sure. But he's exhausted because at the same time, there's this stupid senior prank thing going on.
Right. This is not really even worth talking about.
It's really
They
not.
make a big deal about it. The senior prank is they went to Mexico and they bought a bunch of things that shoot confetti.
Mm-hmm.
They're like fireworks, kind of, but they fire confetti.
Yeah, confetti cannons.
And they set them off when they graduate. And then Rush Sanders is like, I'm so proud of you for the greatest fucking prank that's ever been pulled. Confetti.
Stupid.
It's like, I would expect that from Bruce Valanche, maybe, but not Rush Sanders.
Is that some 1950s reference again?
No! Bruce Valanche is a comedian that would walk around. Oh, wait, no. That's not who I'm thinking of. Not Bruce Valanche.
I'm thinking of Regina Phalange every time you see that.
I'm thinking of Bruce Valanche is a comedian, but I'm thinking of what the fuck is the name of the guy that throws confetti? He's like, hi!
I do not know.
Throws confetti in the air. That guy. That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea. So, yeah, it's stupid, but he's up all night, like, hiding these fireworky things around so that they'll go off.
Right.
So he's tired. He doesn't even want to go to this party. And Donna's like, oh, no, you have to come to the party. Like, why? If your only angle here is sex, then just go home and have sex.
Exactly.
But she makes
Rip Taylor. That's his name. Rip Taylor.
She makes him go to the party, so now he's even more tired. Drags him home, makes him wait while she takes forever to get in her lingerie and light candles and make everything perfect.
Never even calls him in there.
Yeah. When he finally gets tired of waiting and he goes to the door, he's like, Donna, what's going on? And he pokes his head and she's like laying on the bed posed. Like, what the fuck, Donna?
How long was she waiting there? Like,
right? She should have called him in.
Right, David, come here. Let's see your present.
Whatever.
She keeps saying, like, well, there's a surprise for you at home. And he's like, what is it? Is it food? She's like, well, you can eat part of it.
She did not say that. He said animal, vegetable, or mineral. And she said animal, which, is true.
Animalistic.
So, I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, the episode ends with them having sex. I mean, not full penetration on
well, no, it's not a porno. It is 90210. Everybody's got their clothes on.
But they,
Right. So, good for them. So, my prediction is that next season, those two will be living together.
Of course.
Claire went to Paris. Oh, we didn't talk about Claire and Steve.
Claire went to Paris. She decided. We talked about Claire.
Yeah.
She tells. There's not much to tell. She tells Steve, and Steve's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "I need you," and everything. Like,
it's very depressing.
It's one scene where he basically like begs her to stay, and she's like, "No, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
And he cries or whatever. It's decent acting. But that's essentially it. And then when they're at the 20s party, Valerie's like, Claire's not around, and he's like, no, she's taken off. She's going to Paris. I'm alone now. She's like, yeah, I'm alone now too, or whatever. And so then they end up fucking in one of the rooms.
Yeah, they're like hiding on a couch. They always end up fucking somewhere that it's not appropriate. It's like
at a party.
Yeah, both times, because the other time was when Kelly got burned.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing this house also didn't catch on fire,
right?
Or else I would suspect that Valerie's a fire starter.
And she's like, "Don't tell anybody, okay?" Like, who's going to care?
Yeah, no one cares.
Whatever. So now they're going to be living together, so maybe they'll turn into a relationship, but I doubt it. Then, like I said, Kelly and Brandon, and I think Valerie and Kelly might become friends. And then Donna and David will move in together, and Claire's gone. So what's going to happen to Steve? That's my question.
Valerie. Maybe it'll be like two couples living together.
That's so boring. That's not 90210 style.
Well,
I mean, I guess they'd have to do some shit to blow it up, but
I don't know what's gonna happen with Steve's career.
Right.
We don't know about that.
I guess.
We don't know what's gonna happen with any of their careers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that'll probably be a big focus of. It's going to turn into Melrose Place now. Now that they're not in school.
Exactly. But I think that's it. I think that's all the storylines.
So we will have to start season 8 now.
Yeah.
Get caught up.
Yep, we're almost there.
So excited.
But yeah, that's the episode, Carol. Your turn.
So you can write us at latefee1994AOL.com. Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yes.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.